Hi, guys. So, this week I'm going to talk about maturity, about the signs of maturity or immaturity in a relationship. The reason I'm talking about it is I feel like a lot of the disagreements and fights and conflicts and even relationship and marriage breakdowns are because of immaturity, because being mature plays a very big role in a relationship. It really, a lot of things, you really have to just be mature about it and suck it in and just realize that you're being petty, and then from there you can move forward. So I'm just gonna highlight a few points. um, I don't think I'll finish them all today, so then I'll go on to do the other ones next week. I'm just going to highlight a few points or a few issues that will tell you if you're being mature or if you're being immature in a relationship, and of course what that means for you. So one of the first things that show that you are still a bit immature when it comes to being in a relationship, and either that means you're not ready for a relationship or you need to change those things. So the very first thing is comparing relationships. That is a big thing, especially for women. Like, we have this thing where you always want to compare relationships. You think that what's happening in so and so's relationship is what should happen in your relationship, and that is very unfair for your partner. And even with guys, even with guys that are married, you want to compare what's happening, what so and so's wife does for so and you expect your wife to do that, or you see whatever it is that you see on TV, whatever, and you expect it to be done within your house. And I think the main reason why we have issues with wanting to compare is from our environment, maybe the people we hang out with, and a big culprit is television and movies, stuff that we see on TV. Like, for women, we are constantly being sold this unrealistic picture of what a relationship is, or what love is, what a guy should be doing for you if he's in love with you, what that means. And for guys, they're constantly being given an idea sometimes as well of what kind of woman would be the best woman to have in the house and stuff like that. And that kind of then puts you in a place where now you start looking for these features in other relationships, and then you start seeing them as deficient in yours. But the thing is, when it comes to relationships, it's not about what's happening in someone else's relationship. It's about the person that you're with. There's a book about the love languages, which there's 5 love languages. There's different ways in which people can express love, and maybe your partner doesn't necessarily express their love in the way that you expect them to, or in the way that you think is the only way because that's what you see in the movies. But you need to learn your partner. You need to be able to learn your partner, to love your partner, and know that, okay, if my partner does A, B, C, and D, that's his way or that's her way of showing me that they love me. And you must just stop the comparing. See your partner for who your partner is. You must be able to understand how your partner shows you that they love you, and you must be able to embrace that and be able to understand that. And on the other hand, you must also be able to express to your partner the things that you would feel make you feel loved, or the things that you would feel that if they did, then that would make you feel loved or whatever. So it's important to stop comparing. Stop comparing, because again, you don't even know what's really happening in the other relationship's household. You only see what's happening from the outside. So never compare your relationship to someone else's relationship, because actions are just actions at the end of the day. And what matters is what's deep inside and what's behind those actions. Another aspect that we could talk about when it comes to showing whether someone is mature or not is this business of always caring about other people's opinions when it comes to your relationship. And that, I mean, I'm not saying if you have issues, you mustn't go to someone and sit down as a couple and get advice, but you shouldn't want your partner to behave in a certain way, to dress in a certain way, because, oh, what are people going to say? Because at the end of the day, this relationship is between the two of you, and the two of you are the ones that are going to be sitting in that house, sitting in that relationship until kingdom come. And you guys are the ones that matter. You guys are the ones that should make each other happy, not what's based on other people's opinions. Because other people's opinions, they're just opinions and they're not going to feed into your relationship. The only opinions that matter are if you're actually actively going for some kind of counseling, then okay, that's an opinion that you need to take. But other people's opinions shouldn't really determine what's happening in your relationship. And women are really good at wanting to always put out your business out there. You always, and most of the time it's only because, it's not even because you really want advice, it's because you want to recruit a team that's going to support you in your opinion. Like if your husband or partner is not doing a certain thing, you want to go tell your business and get other people's opinions, because you just want someone to support you and be like, oh girl, he did what? No, you must go boil some hot water and just spray it in his face. If it was me, I would have, all of those things. That's the main reason why as women we spend time going to people talking about our issues, because at the end of the day, they're not going to give us advice that is constructive for our relationship. The biggest thing that you need to know, which takes a lot of maturity, is if you have an issue with someone, with your partner in a relationship, you should be able to take it to the partner in your relationship and talk about it. Your first goal shouldn't be to go elsewhere and get the opinion of other people, because those same people, once your situation is fixed, those same people are still staying in that other situation where it wasn't fixed, and they're always going to start looking at your relationship from a negative perspective, and they're always going to feed into your relationship negatively. Even when it's things that are small and things that you could have resolved with your partner, they're always just going to now start feeding into your relationship negatively, because you opened the door and you allowed them. By complaining and telling them about your business and your issues, you open that door and allow them to come into your relationship and start feeding into your relationship negatively, because you already told them that you already have a negative perspective about your relationship. So it's very important. One of the key features of being mature in a relationship is, can you not tell your business to everybody, and can you just not be so concerned about other people's opinions about your relationship? Because what happens in your relationship is based on you and your partner. It's the two of you in the relationship, and the two of you should be the ones that can determine what's happening in the relationship. So other people's opinions, keep them at bay. If people are going to give their opinions without being asked, just listen to it and just keep it moving. You don't have to take it to heart, because I know there's some people that, they're always giving unsolicited advice, but that's fine. You can take it, you can listen to it, but you don't have to take it. Okay, and then another sign of immaturity and not being ready for a relationship is always wanting people to change. Like, you've been in a relationship with someone and he drinks too much, and you want him to change. I want him to change. I want him to stop drinking. I want you to change. I want you to stop drinking. Every other day, that's your conversation. You're always talking about, you need to stop drinking. You need to stop drinking. They're not going to change, okay? The fact that you've stayed in a relationship with them has given them the idea that you've accepted them as they are. Even though you whine about it every day, your actions are showing that you've accepted them as they are. So they're not going to change. Stop trying to change people. Stop expecting people to change. If someone shows you their colors, just believe them, because that's who they are. Never, ever, ever getting in a relationship with the hope that someone's going to change, with the hope that someone who's a bum and doesn't want to go get a job is all of a sudden going to change and going to want to go get a job. They're not. You've already shown them by accepting them that you are accepting the fact that they're a bum. If someone is a cheater and they've been cheating left, right, and center, they are not going to change, because you've kept them, you've showed them that you are willing to accept them as they are. If your woman is a slob and she throws everything around, whatever the case is, if she's very insecure, she's tracking you on every device possible, and you keep thinking that she's going to change, she's not going to change. Either you accept it or you get out of the relationship. And that's the bottom line about relationships, is when you find someone as they are, don't be expecting them to change. Take them as they are. If there's something you don't like, you feel you can't live with it, don't be trying to change them. Just accept it or get out of the relationship. So that's all we'll talk about today. Next week, we will continue talking about the signs of immaturity in a relationship.